Welcome to another episode of TMI Thursdays Live.
Good evening, everyone. How are we all doing on a Thursday evening? Oh, there's a bit of music still playing.
Just a little bit. Let's just tweak that down, people. There we go.
How are you?
I'm fine.
Good.
I'm glad it's Thursday, which is partly podcast related, but
yeah,
heading towards another weekend, which I kind of feel I'm needing them at the moment. But yeah, I'm in fine fettle. And how is Adriana?
I am doing very well. I had a fabulous day in work today.
Good.
It was nice in the afternoon. So I share an office with a colleague.
Just one?
Just the one, yes, just the two of us. And
oh, slightly private.
I know, yeah.
Oh.
And we have this massive screen on the wall.
Okay.
Oh, sorry.
That's all right.
And we figured out how to get how to put YouTube on that big screen, not just use it for presentations.
Okay.
And testing things, but we figured out how to use it for YouTube. And this afternoon we had a bit of a karaoke and a bit of a boogie. And
was she singing? I like
oh
out
my
loud
God.
singing.
Right,
Please
right.
tell me.
No, I'm not gonna sing, but like the first tune, I says to her because she knows I love this tune.
Okay.
It's an old one, Dr. Alban, Hallelujah.
Ah, Dr. Alban. Yeah.
Sorry.
No. Just no. That was me reaffirming my memory of the artist. He is a dude.
Sing Hallelujah.
Sing Hallelujah. That was like a rave song from the 1990s.
So we started with that. Then we played a little bit of, and she's similar age to me. And then we played a little bit of Laura Branigan.
Laura Branigan. That's
Self-Control.
You're gonna have to sing a bit.
No.
Jesus,
no.
Give me a clue.
No, God, no. That's from the 80s. That song is from
Arms crossed, people. Doesn't want to sing.
Oh no, I don't want to know. 1st of April 1984, and I was born that year. So, what happened?
We seem to have lost.
Oh Jesus, I'm gonna go fix that.
Yeah, I think it might be the camera. I'll carry on talking. So Lorna Branigan, Lorna or Lauren? Laura Branigan.
Oh, yeah. The camera is just probably
Battery exhausted, people. We have lost video streaming, so we're just going to have to ad lib. I'm afraid that's just the way it goes. So we'll maybe put the camera on charge and see if we can bring it back towards the end of the show, perhaps. But for now, let's go into non-video mode. Can you tell we're novices at this? Clearly we are, but listen, I think we sound good enough anyway, don't you?
Do you know what? Imagine just, oh, wow. Anyway, it's so funny because we always said, oh, sure, we're just going to do audio for a couple of weeks. And then we figure it out. And then we went straight in with the video, and here we are. Video's not working.
Here we are with our live video stream on YouTube, and it's just talking. Never mind. Listen, don't worry about it. We'll sort it out. So you were telling me about your office, and you were buzzing.
And it was great. I had a fabulous day. So, and then here we are. We're having a fabulous evening, solving problems and challenges. So, yes. But anyway, what's happening in your world?
So in my world, Christmas is very much on the horizon. I've got the kids coming over this weekend, and it's the first weekend that I have them in Christmas time, so the month of December. So I'm going to be putting up my Christmas decorations, but I've noticed that from everyone around, they've all gone really early. What is it this year? Well, it weren't even this year. I noticed it last year. People starting to put their Christmas decorations up in early November. It's literally getting earlier and earlier. Now, I know you see things in the shops that goes early, but people are putting their actual decorations up earlier and earlier. But I haven't conformed to that, people. I've kept within the month of December. I'm staying loyal. I'm staying true. So my week and weekend has been focused on getting all that sorted out, and I've been buzzing because I love Christmas.
People will judge you. People will judge you if you have your decorations up early.
They will.
Because I was talking to someone, and the person goes, "Are you one of those people that put their Christmas decorations up in November?" And I'm like, no. No, where I come from, like back home in Slovakia, we would be putting the tree up on the 23rd of December. and then it would stay on.
What?
Yeah,
23rd?
of December.
The day before, like, Christmas Eve. Christmas Eve.
We don't have Christmas Eve.
Well, that's what the 23rd of December is.
No, we don't have that.
Oh, it is for me.
So it just goes on the 23rd and comes down on the 6th. 3 Kings. I think it's some type of a religious
Okay.
setup.
Right. So you guys don't suffer the whole materialism of Christmas then,
I think
and the fact that you got to...
we do, but we just went while I was home. But then again, I moved here 20 years ago. So while I was young,
Yeah,
we didn't suffer it. Now
I understand.
You know,
yeah.
we now have a Halloween too. We didn't have Halloween.
Oh, right. Well, yeah.
Halloween is not a global thing.
No, it's not. It's very much an American thing. Well, it was it started
Irish.
by the Irish, wasn't
Yeah.
it? And then the Americans got a real bug for it, didn't they? And then we caught on with it. But yeah, I suppose as a kid, I remember like you put your Christmas tree up in the lead up to Christmas, but not regimentally on the 1st of December or even the first weekend in December. But that's kind of where we've ended up.
Yep.
I think we enjoy it so much now that we try and have it for as long as possible.
Yes, we do. And I am excited for it, even though I only have a tiny little Christmas tree, a little wooden frame that will sit beautifully in the window.
Nice. Has it got lights on it? Or is it just
maybe 4.
four little lights?
Four little
lights for Christmas.
One for each Advent Sunday.
Love it. I love it. What have I got? I've got a tree. So that's going to have lights and baubles on it and stuff. I've got the most pathetic, what do you call them you put over the fireplace, like a garland? Is it a garland? It is a Judy, isn't it? So I've got one of them to put on the fireplace, which is like really minimal. People go big time on them. So I've got a little minimal one for the fireplace. I've got a wreath on the front door. Did you notice that?
Oh, I did.
What did you think?
Beautiful.
It's all right, isn't it?
Very good.
Yeah, I like it. I think it looks quite nice. I've also got a secondary Christmas tree, which isn't really a Christmas tree. It's one of them white ornamental ones that's like a silver birch fake electronic little jobby with LED little fingers that come out of it. You could probably visualize it. So I've got one of them bad boys and I've got to find a place to stick that. And then I also have like an array of Christmas cones. So if you could imagine like an elf's hat, big pointy hat, that kind of shape, but they got loads of like beautiful LED lights on it, and you can set it so it flashes or it blinks or it stays constant, whatever. Well, I've got a family of them, and they all live inside each other, a bit like a Russian doll.
Matryoshka.
Oh, yeah, well, Matryoshka, exactly.
Yeah.
I was going to say that.
Yeah,
and
I'm sure you were.
Oh, yeah, of course. And so this family of cones, Matryoshka, comes out. And then you have 4 of them at differing sizes, and I'm going to array that somewhere in the entrance hall to the house. I think it looked very nice, very festive, and because I got that window panel to the side of the door, I think as people arrive and they see the wreath, they get a little glimpse through the window and see like little commotion going on in the hallway. I think it'd be a nice Christmas welcome, don't you?
Oh, sounds good. Yeah,
Yeah,
looking forward to
to
seeing
it.
it next week.
Can you tell I'm looking forward to it, listeners?
Yeah, I know
Good
you
stuff.
love Christmassy,
Yeah,
but yeah.
indeed.
So day's been good. So gym, been back at the gymming it. Obviously I have been going for a while now, but kind of getting back into the spirit of the gym, and we are planning the Biggest Loser in the office in the new year.
Love that. Can I be an honorary member? But not for the prize, just to take part.
Yeah.
Love it.
We're going to do a Biggest Loser in the office, and then we're going to do like an overall percentage. Not just because, it was so funny. The guys were in the office today eating all the mince pies. They were like, we're just getting ready for this competition. We're beefing up. And I'm like, it doesn't work like that.
Well, they want to lose the most so that they're
Exactly.
increasing.
They're increasing so they can lose the most.
They're going to need a set of Joey pants, aren't they?
I know. Oh, my God. Oh. Anyway. So, yes, we're getting ready for that. And I said, no, this is just going to be like an overall percentage of your weight loss. So not just, we're going to weigh you at the beginning and then weigh you every month and see. Well, I don't know how long we're going to do it. I need to come up with the rules, and we need some sort of an impartial adjudicator who will weigh us way.
Way.
So yeah, but when it's talking about gym, that's going to be my kind of awkward moment of the week. I want to talk to you about.
Awkward moment of the week.
That's what friends are for.
Tell me more about your awkward moment
Oh my
of the
god,
week.
that is so funny. Do you guys recognize that? Because I was like, oh, how do I know that? How do I know that? What movie is that from? Bridesmaid?
It is. It's that scene. Now, I've only seen the movie once, but it's stuck. But it's that scene where, like, it's the engagement party before the wedding, and there's two kind of main women to the bride. One is a new friend that ain't part of the friend group, and then the other one is like the main one in the friend group, and this new friend like encroaches on the territory of this other one. So she's got the microphone, the new friend, she's up on stage, she invites the main friend up to do a speech on behalf of the bride. So she goes up, she makes it short and sweet, and then hands the mic back. And then the other one goes on to this really, really good speech, really long, really meaningful. And the other one's standing there. She's like, oh my God, she did a better one than me. I better go up and do another one. So she literally rips the hand out of her mic, goes up, has another go. But then the other one goes, oh, I've been one-upped. I'm going to have another go. And it becomes this competitive scene where they fight the microphone off each other to such a point where one of them starts singing a song and the other one joins in not to miss out. And it's just very, very awkward. But anyways, enough
So when you're
about
talking about, fighting over the mic, it was so the other day, it was at the weekend, I was at the gym. And I go, and I've been going on and off for years. But I think this is the first time whenever I have taken a different approach to my gym visits, to my, not just the training, but generally, I have never previously made any friends in the gym. I never knew anyone's names. I would always just go in, plug in. You don't talk to anyone. You don't make eye contact. You don't make friends. Now, but this time I took a different approach, and I'm actually taking the headphones out, I'm making eye contact, I'm asking people their names, I'm making friends, and I actually made friends to a point now. I've been obviously going over, it's coming up to 2 years now, more actively, that I had a couple of nights out or drinks, with people I made friends with in the gym, and it's lovely. I have always struggled with that, and that also resulted in me dropping out, I think, a lot of the times. I would stop and start. There was nothing to take me back, but the way I kind of say, there's days whenever I come to the gym and I train hard. There's days whenever I come to the gym and I move, but there's days whenever I come to the gym and I'm just there. I show up, yeah.
Yeah.
And those are
better than not.
And those are the days probably I think are the most important, because those are the days whenever the names of the people and making friendships really help me with mental health, because I don't want to train. The last thing I want to train, I'm tired, but I'm here. I got my gear on, and even just have a conversation and then moving a little bit of cardio or whatever, just a bit of chit chat. Honestly, you walk out and you feel great. And that kind of motivates you to go back in. But what I'm trying to get to with my awkward moment was Saturday morning. I am doing my usual workout, and I have noticed a new person in the gym.
Ooh. Man or woman?
A man.
Oh, okay.
Tall.
Is he good looking?
Yeah. Tall. Very muscly. Great shape. Good looking. Black. Just different. Yeah.
Yeah.
Lovely smile. Very kind of good vibes and all that. But like really energetic too. Kind of training really hard and like, yeah, and then there was a bit of so I was in
come on.
yeah. Yeah. The energy was just like oozing out of him. So I was in the kind of like the weights area where majority is men, yeah?
Right, the free weights.
The free
weights. Oh,
weights.
that's the male zone.
The most
Dare go in
intimidating area in the gym.
You can smell the testosterone, right?
Can you? I
dude.
was wondering what that smell was.
Dude, totally.
So-
We've all been there.
And women are afraid to go into that zone. Fair play, the ones
Is that
that
right?
do.
Because this is, I don't know that. Is that true? Is
is.
it like intimidating? And
You're it's so funny. I literally find this thing called the Gym Intimidation Report
gym intimidation
from
report?
2021.
Wow. Okay.
And that highlights a couple of these interesting facts about women and men in gyms. But what I'm trying to get to, I was just working away. I think I was training back that day or something. But I jumped on one of the machines and this new dude was using it. But
Right.
he was
This
kind of,
exuberant, new, good-looking dude.
yeah, but he was using multiple machines. So I think he was using 2 of them or supersetting or something.
At the same time.
Yeah, but it's very difficult in a leisure centre setting, you know. It's supersetting and using multiple machines. I think it's a bit of a luxury.
Because there's a queue and there's an etiquette. Even I know that. Yeah.
Exactly. But anyway, and I jumped on the machine because one of the etiquettes is leave some sort of sign of life around a machine. So if I walk up to it,
Yeah.
I know someone's using it.
Yes.
I just hang around it, hover around it like a fly, or leave something, leave a bottle, your phone or something, a tile.
You mark it.
Mark it. And I walked up and I started using it. And then he walked up behind me and he was walking towards the machine. And I don't know, I had my ears plugged in. And then he mouthed something I couldn't understand, but I assumed he was saying that he was using a machine. And I was like, oh, I'm really sorry. And I jumped up. It's like, and he goes, no, you work away. And that was kind of an in for me and him. We had a bit of a banter after that. You know, we had a bit of chat and then he jumped on a different machine and all of that. But I noticed he was also not just super energetic, but his confidence. But there was more than just confidence. There was a little bit of shadow boxing going on in the free weights area.
A performance.
There's a little bit of a performance going on. And I don't know whether it was just because it's very difficult for a person to be new in a gym. If you're a newbie, I was super nervous no matter what gyms I went to. And I think people get nervous too. And I think maybe there was a bit of nervous energy there. Bit of shadow boxing, bit of kind of bopping around, bit of dancing in the mirror and all of that jazz. And you know what was
I'm picturing Apollo Creed, man.
Honestly,
this is a dude.
And then, oh my God, and then I was watching it and I'm such an observant person. And I could literally see the looks of other guys. You could see the geezers.
Who's this geezer? What's he? That's too much. You can't
That's
just come in and do that.
I know, and then he was chatting away to me, and there was just a bit of banter going on, and you could literally feel the
tension,
testosterone, and tension in the air.
Who's this new peacock?
Who exactly? That's the peacock.
Who's this new peacock coming? He's got his feathers out straight away. He hasn't even looked around.
I think that morning the ecosystem of the hierarchies was upset.
So interesting because these dudes would have this, and I'm imagining. So let me just play this out for you.
Yeah, let's do this.
So like you go to gym, you're a fella. We don't really. There's the odd word here and there where we talk to other gym goers, but there's not huge conversation. Occasionally, if you hit it off with a bloke or whatever, then you might have a chat. But generally speaking, it's just a nod. But that nod is a conversation in men gym world. That's a nod of acceptance. It's a nod of, cool, we're coexisting in this space. We'll come on to that a bit later. We're coexisting in this space. I accept you. You accept me. We won't ruffle each other's feathers. So we keep the feathers down. We're just there to work out, right?
He ruffed those feathers that morning.
There's a place, a comfortable little space for everyone to just coexist. And then this dude rocks up, shadow boxing, dancing, looking good by the sounds of it.
Looking good, those shoulders were popping.
Mate. And the other geezers were like, I'm not happy, but I don't quite know how to feel about it. So they would have looked amongst each other. Is everyone else clocking this? Like, can you believe this?
But I actually clocked a couple of the guys kind of doing like the side eye.
Oh, like pretending not to like looking, but like, so yeah, observing what was going on, but not directly
like
confronting it.
They're like shaking their heads like in disapproval.
Yeah, who is
like,
this bloke coming in, dude, upsetting the rhythm?
How dare he?
We've got it set perfectly. You can't just come in and do that and be exciting. That's not how it works.
And that kind of made me then think about all like the different, gym icks. I don't know. People, let us know in the comments, what are your favorite or non-favorite or the most annoying, most irritating gym icks? I have a bunch of these. Like, I know the likes of hogging multiple machines in a public leisure centre. It's sacrilege. It's, we can't afford, those gyms are busy. And then you coming in at peak and you're trying to superset, just one machine at a time, sunshine, like.
That's actually
let us share.
So important. Especially when you come in after work, because that peak time, it's a nightmare, right? You've got to follow the code, otherwise you're left out literally in the cold, isn't you?
The subconscious invisible code. Yeah, another one. Here's another one. This one is just horrendous. Loud grunting.
That kind of stuff.
That's exactly it. That's it.
I could literally be on the toilet, couldn't I?
It's horrendous. Loud grunting or dropping weights at the end of a set.
Just to announce the success of completing the rep.
Do you know what I have done before? I went over to a gentleman one evening, and I just gently tapped him on the shoulder. I said, "Excuse me, sir."
That's very gentle tapping.
Yeah. "Excuse me, sir. If you need to drop them, they're perhaps too heavy for you."
Oh, nuclear. Oh.
Yeah,
what did he do?
Give me a dirty look, obviously.
Did he? Oh, so
I emasculated him. Obviously, he didn't like it.
right.
That was just me being mean.
Right.
But like with a bit of banter.
Good, that is,
Yeah.
you went in 2-footed.
I know. But anyway, other one is phone calls on loudspeaker in public areas.
Yeah. Totally agree
Put
with
some
that.
headphones in.
I know. Yeah. And like, I can't talk because I'm incredibly loud on the phone and I just am. Right. And I got a bit of a reputation for that. But like in public, like a gym where it's a closed environment, if you've got it on loudspeaker, that's one thing. But why do you have to shout to talk? Do you know what I mean?
I think that's a little bit of like the lack of awareness, and I think that's another one of those icks,
Hello?
Yeah, the lack of I think the lack
I'm in the gym, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm just pumping some weights, yeah. Fit birds like in here, you should see it. We got a peacock in the corner over there, popping his shoulders, dancing around and shadow boxing. It's unbelievable. It's all going off. Everyone's upset.
Luckily, not to that extent.
No.
But yeah, I think depends on the time. So I tend to train in the morning, which is nice. I think the mornings have maybe
Great time.
different, audience, different gym community as such, and then you've got the peak time, I don't know, between the 4 and 6 or 5 and 7 would be, that kind of attracts a different type of gym community and attracts the students and the young ones, who that's another ick of mine, when you have groups of 3+ people on one machine and they would be there forever because everybody's going to do a set.
That's it. That's a machine gone then for like half an hour and it's like...
At least.
That ain't fair. Yeah, that's not right. That ain't right.
4 of them.
Yeah, nightmare.
Yeah. So.
Have you ever approached them and gone, look...
No, I just can't be bothered.
Just avoid it.
Pick your battles. I like the ones who drop the
Yeah, you just the really big dudes that have got the free weights that are dropping the barbells that weigh 300
another
kilograms.
ick of mine is unsolicited advice.
That really gets on my tits.
Like, I am doing my best. Do you know what? It's right. I'm going to maybe backpedal on that one a little bit, because if you're having a shit form, you obviously want someone to kind of, who is maybe better at things as a professional or a gym staff or whoever, or you want them to help you, yeah? You're like, you want to improve your form, but I think delivery here is important. And also I think
Key.
Consent, ask whether I want that advice.
Critical.
Don't just go, well, oh, listen, you're doing that wrong and here's how to do it. Let me bear that cross on my own.
Do you know what? It's a really important message, that. Out of all the ones you've said, I think that's the one that actually like got my back up the most. Because you go, some people just rock up at the gym and dance and shadow box and absolutely love it. Handstands, cartwheels, the lot. But some people, there is a barrier to go into the gym because it is you're like. You're going out, right?
Yeah.
You're going out in a self-improvement sense, and you might not feel the best, and you might not be the most experienced on the particular equipment, whatever the situation might be. And you're the ones that need the advice, ironically. But importantly, you're the ones that need a bit of care, because just being there, just turning up, like you said, right to begin with, just not feeling it today, but I got dressed and I still went. And you're still doing it. Those are the days where you just take it. And it's when you get that little advice. Oh, if you just did this, and you're like, I was in the zone, I was doing it. You've just burst my bubble now. Neg me out.
So, listen, I love meeting new people in the gym. I love receiving advice. I love having banter. But I think the key is the question, is it okay?
I agree. It's almost like you could even like have something visual that you wear on you in the gym, couldn't you? That says, if my armband is yellow, that means I can be approached. If my armband's red, that just means please just let me be.
Listen, it just comes down to a little bit of human, soft skills. Yeah, just tap me on the shoulder. Hi, how are you? A little bit of small talk, whatever. Gently lead into advice if you want to. Make friends, whatever, and allow space for me to say no or yes. That's all. There's such an easy way. I have been approached by men and women equally. By the way, men and women equally get harassed in gyms. So I looked at I mentioned the gym intimidation report.
Yes.
Which was very interesting to learn that 6 in 10 women felt harassed in the gym by a man. But there's also men who are harassed by women. For example, men avoid classes because women make them feel uncomfortable.
So where the men have the free weights room,
they feel safe.
The women have the gym class.
Yeah.
The Zumba.
Yeah, so the equivalent of the free weights is the Zumba.
The boxercise.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is interesting. That is really, that's where like the tables are turned very much. So
I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, it's all about, women being harassed. Yes, absolutely. Men do things like, and I have experienced that, when they, not just the unsolicited advice, but, patronizing comments, inappropriate comments, sexual comments, brushing against you, or very carefully selecting a spot in the gym to work out literally like in your face. When I'm like, especially when I'm on a row machine, because I jump on a row machine and I'm there for 30 minutes at least.
Yeah.
And there's one specific gentleman who just comes and specifically places himself so I can make eye contact. See him.
Yeah. Wants to be seen by the rower.
So, yeah.
Rocky Bell rower.
Yeah. Unfortunately, then that kind of leads to women avoiding gym, because 45% of women go to gym with a friend or a partner because men made them feel uncomfortable. Interesting and unfair, actually. So there's just some stats which was very interesting to kind of see, and then obviously I went and done a little bit of looked into stuff around unwritten rules, and we talked about kind of like the unwritten rules of gym etiquette, things like the regulars police the space. Have you noticed that? I have noticed that. Yeah. I think I'm starting to become a regular. So do you feel that sense of like gym responsibility then, because you've been going there a while now? I think so, because I know the dynamics, because I'm going the same time. You get to know the regulars, you make friends with them, and I do feel that sense of responsibility. If I would see another woman or even a man, if I see unpleasant behavior regardless of gender, I feel I would never ever make a scene. It's, my God, it couldn't be any further away from me, but I would probably gently tap the perpetrator on the shoulder. Well, you've got form for that, haven't you? I am not a fan. There's being kind. You can absolutely speak your mind, but stay kind. I'm a firm believer of it, and there's ways of doing things, and the ways of also pointing out harassment or inappropriate behaviour, and that does not need to end in drama.
I agree.
So I think it's a gentle conversation. I had one time, it was one argument earlier this year. No, it wasn't even an argument. Again, what happened was, and it was two guys.
Okay.
And one guy was bullying the other guy.
Nah, not cool.
And I knew the bully because another female has pointed out this gentleman to me. And this time he was bullying another gentleman. And I just tapped him on the shoulder and I said his name. I knew him by his name. And I said, that's very inappropriate what you're doing. Don't do that. And then what he did, he called me a name in front of staff members. He called me some sort of so I'm not going to say it, but he very specifically highlighted that my size, and body image. And he walked off. And then he was standing at reception desk and I went up to him again. I explained, I says, listen, it's very inappropriate to be, it's very hard for a woman to be coming in the gym here of a certain body shape, size, whatever, you're thin or big or whatever. And for you to be then going ahead and mocking me, my body image and all of that, it's just not cool.
It's well out of order.
And I think he was, and I think it was addressed by a staff member at the time. And you know what? Hasn't happened since.
Well, good.
And because I threw a little bit of
shade.
All I did, I just kind of threw a bit of, what did I do? Kindness at it. Do you know what? That dude says hello every time. And right. There has been zero complaints since.
Interesting.
All it took is just someone to kindly explain to him that what you're doing, I know you're having a shit day maybe, because let's be real, guys. We bring our shit to the gym.
We do.
We always say that the gym is the best thing for mental health. Yes, it is, because you leave your stuff in there. You bring it with you.
You exercise it, don't you?
Yes.
So it comes out, I guess.
You leave it in there.
The grunting.
All of that comes in your little heavy bag with you. All the mental health stuff when you bring it in, and then you leave it in there.
Yeah.
So it's good for mental health.
Yeah,
but
I will.
You need to learn how to manage it while you're in there.
As long as the machines are available.
So that was my awkward moment of the week. Huh?
That was absolutely class. I really, really enjoyed that. Thank you so much. Well done. Yeah, we'll go with that. Yeah. Very good. Yeah, love it. Love it. So that brings us on to the next part of this week's show.
Oh, what are you looking for?
And I am looking for our brand new jingle.
Ooh!
To bring it in.
Really? What did you get?
Yes, so this part of the show is called
Take a Beat. Everybody just take a beat.
That is so...
Mate,
Jerry,
take a beat.
Jerry Cliff.
Slow it down. Slow it down.
Is that PC Jerry
Breathe.
Cliff?
PC Jerry Cliff. The legend. In Blue Lines.
Blights.
Lights.
Blue
lights, not blue lines. Blights. Blue lights. Jerry. Look him up.
Guys,
Jerry.
Ladies and gentlemen, you can tell we are live.
Yeah.
There is absolutely zero filter around here. And editing.
Yes. So, take a beat. So
this is what are we taking a beat on
this
week?
Thank you. So we are taking a beat this week. And the subject that I wanted to discuss was tribal brain theory.
Oof, that sounds a bit heavy, that.
I don't think
get into it.
Yeah, I don't think it has to be. So what do I mean by tribal brain theory? Essentially what I mean is that we as humans live in a really advanced technological world, right? We have all this amazing stuff around us when it works, like a streaming camera. Anyway, so we do. So we live in this really advanced world, and we have just got technology, the likes that, you never thought possible, and it's only accelerating. However, we haven't advanced biologically. So our brains are still wired just like they were in primeval times. There'll be some advancements, don't get me wrong, but by and large, our brains are wired and our instincts are wired the same as they ever were. For example, we still have the fight or flight instinct. So when faced with danger, we either stand and face it with aggression or we run as fast as we can.
What type of danger are we talking about?
Any kind of danger. And it's really interesting because like panic attacks are your body giving you an adrenaline dump so that you can either fight or flight when you don't actually need to fight or run away from anything. You might just be scared about giving a presentation or standing up in a wedding where you're going to be married. There are things that we face in life now where we feel fear, but we don't need to fight it and we don't need to run away from it. But our body, our brains doesn't know it. So it fills us full of adrenaline to give us what we need to survive.
Yeah.
And we don't need it. So our bodies end up completely awash with these chemicals and we don't need it and it messes us up. Now, we are wired with a them and us syndrome. So as humans, we are wired to collect in groups. Now we need groups. So you think back to primeval people, right? We didn't have the buildings that we have now. We lived out in the wild. We hunted in the wild. So we relied on our groups for safety. We relied on our groups for food, for water, for heat, for all sorts of resources, for safety.
Yeah.
So we are wired as people to belong in these groups. Now, these groups were relatively speaking quite small because they were kind of like nature's way of like the perfect amount of people to sustain themselves as a group. So you had all these different groups that relied on themselves individually, and another group would be a threat. It would be an enemy.
But it's interesting when we're talking about, threat and enemy and danger. So we live in a completely different world. What are the types of dangers we face now, and obviously what people faced hundreds of years ago? I'm trying to see where. Obviously, we are seeing that currently in the news. I think there was some. When I think about this whole them and us, it's very imminent to see that playing out, and which has played out last weekend in Belfast with the protests.
Do you know what? Actually, you're absolutely right. And if it's okay, we'll come on to the modern stuff because that is really prevalent, and I'd like to talk more about that. But just to set the scene a little bit more, so just think that we are wired for these small groups, right? And we need that safety within that group. And other groups are an enemy of our safety and our resource. Now, if you look in all sorts of nature, we see the same thing. So, for example, wolves coexist in a wolf pack. Now, a wolf pack relies on themselves to coexist and to be safe, to find food, get everything that they need. And they have a very defined territory. Now, there are other wolf packs, and those wolf packs, they rely on themselves as well, and they have a very defined territory. And they've done some scientific research, and through tagging and various other forms of technology, they've been able to determine that wolves are incredibly disciplined when it comes to the boundaries of their territory. They go close to the boundary, but they never, ever cross it. Even when the other us and them wolves are nowhere to be seen on the other side of their territory, would never know that they'd been there, they would still disciplined, never cross that line, which is interesting. And you would sometimes get occasions where the wolves would cross the line, obviously, but what are they crossing that line for? Well, it's to take resources from the other group. And that's where the them and us gets hardwired into nature because that then becomes a threat. There's another group that's come into our territory to take what we have, so is threatening our survival. And it's really, really interesting. And as humans, we obviously, we've advanced significantly, but back in the way back when in the primeval times, we weren't the only species of human. There were other species of human, Neanderthal man, there was all sorts of other species, right? But we as Homo sapiens were only one of them. Now, nature within mammals has this natural threshold of about 150 as like a maximum volume for a group to coexist in harmony. So what you have going back in the day are these groups of mammals, be they primates, apes, Homo species, whatever, in these groups of a maximum of 150. And that was like the natural limit of nature's law. And Homo sapiens were actually quite inferior versus other human species types. We weren't as strong, we weren't as fast, we actually weren't even as smart. But what we were able to do as a human species was tolerate groups of over 150. And what that enabled us to do was expand our group beyond the limit of nature's law. Yeah. And it meant that we could outnumber superior human species.
Yeah, it's interesting you mentioned the 150 number, because that is the average number of connections.
No way.
That is the average number of connections and meaningful relationships an average person can sustain.
That ties in so perfectly to what we're talking about here. So what the human, just to complete this final point, the Homo sapiens were able to tolerate groups of over 150, didn't like it, but tolerated it, and were able to outnumber the other groups and literally went round and picked them off one by one. And it left us as Homo sapiens as the last people standing. Now, fast forward to modern life, and we obviously, we live in massive groups, right? We live in cities of millions of people, but we still have that hardwired code that we like groups. And within those groups, we associate survival, we associate safety, love, procreation, we associate food, resources, everything we need. And we associate other groups as a threat. And you can see that in modern society. But how interesting that you've just got that connection number. And that just goes to show that we tolerate these cities, and we tolerate living in these towns and villages where we have massive population, but we still like a natural threshold of connection, right? We still need our group.
We do. And there's also a correlation when it comes to brain size versus group size. And I think as humans evolved and as our brain size evolved, I think that with that, the number of connection we can sustain grew from smaller tribal groups to 150 meaningful relationships. But then again, brain, we are all primed for connection. Yes. And when we disagree, that is social exclusion.
Yeah. And back in the day, that would have meant death.
That would have meant
excluded
death.
from the group. No longer access to the resources. Is serious stuff. But that's so interesting that you've come up. I didn't know that fact. That has blown me away, because that is exactly the kind of threshold that nature sets.
The brain is primed for survival and belonging.
Exactly. And unfortunately, because we don't really need it today.
No.
Unfortunately, that them and us, that tribal brain, makes us act like we're in danger from other groups, when in fact we're not. And that makes us oppose other groups more than we really need to. And you were talking about some protests earlier. Yes,
that they happened at the weekend in Belfast, and I believe it was over the Palestine flag being flown at Belfast City Hall.
I heard they were going to do that. Okay. So it inflamed a corner of society, right?
And it was then, obviously, there was a counter protest as well. I have just basic knowledge. I don't watch TV. I believe that the news will find you without a TV or without reading the papers. Whatever news you need.
Social streams now deliver news in a way that's consumable, isn't it?
People deliver news. Who needs social media and TV and all of that when people will go, have you heard? Have you seen? No, tell me all about it. So yes, I think there's a bit of an inflammation going on at the minute with that. Then again, it's so interesting to see that when we talk about, the danger and us being wired to survival, our amygdala pushes us toward flight or fight. We're not in a curious mode to be able to have a conversation and discuss us versus them and come up with something in the middle. And we don't care about the truth. We just want to survive.
And this is it. We're instinctually wired that way. I think there's an opportunity here. I mean, like you've mentioned a really great example there, but you think about it, right? So I grew up in London and I remember going to school, not so much in primary school, but in secondary school, we were rivals with other schools. Like there would be fights because that was that school. This is our school. This is our group. That's their group. This is us. This is them. You obviously had rival areas. Where I grew up in Finsbury Park, we didn't like people from Tottenham. And you had rival estates within Finsbury Park where there were rivalries. So you've got these groups are everywhere, this sense of enemy for something that isn't part of your group. I grew up supporting, well, I didn't grow up, I still do, but when I was younger, I used to go to a lot of football matches back in the late 1980s and the early 90s. And let me tell you, football grounds back then were pretty wild places. And there was all sorts of tension that you would get around those based on opposing fans coming to town. It was like, rival fans coming in your area. It was like, but you felt really passionate about them as an enemy. And in actual fact, they're really not. They're just another group that wants to survive themselves, right?
Yeah, when you think about it, I think modern media kind of really amplifies and turbocharges everything. And when you are already a community who feels kind of ignored and forgotten about, you will go out into the streets and have that fight will kick in, and you will go out there and fight for your corner, no matter what the issue is, and you will find an issue. But ultimately, I think at the end of the day, it's so that us versus them will not play out in a real life situation, because I have watched people from both sides of the community coming together about things that really matter, and that us versus them just falls away to the wayside. And there is no us versus them.
Exactly. Because we're all us. And this is the moral, really, that if you find yourself feeling really passionate against something that isn't part of whatever your group, whatever your belonging is, wherever your connections are, just be tolerant, right? Because that individual, those individuals, they're connected to their group, their belonging,
their truth.
And all they're doing is surviving. You're surviving, they're surviving. Now, we don't need to be wired to be enemies now. We just need to know that you're your group, you have your beliefs, I'm my group, I have my beliefs, and we can coexist. We're not in danger of each other anymore like it used to be. You're not going to come and take my resources. You're not a threat of life. So we can all just take a beat, chill out, coexist better.
I know. It's we all need to take a beat on it. I'm just going to be devil's advocate here, though, with you for a moment.
Please.
When we look at Maslow's hierarchy of needs, and the bottom, the most important you start with is the human's basic needs, and that is shelter, food, water, heat.
Yes.
All of that. And then the next one, let's say work, healthcare. Yeah.
Yes.
When people struggle with the basics,
Yep. That is survival.
the survival,
Yep.
and I think that's where we're at. We are at the moment when everybody's in a flight or fight mode, survival mode, because the basics are not provided.
I get that.
And there's more and more people are, and I'm trying to empathize and sympathize with both sides here, you know, and around. It wasn't just the protests over the flag, which I thought was, it was different and different kind of level to what it was months ago when it proper kicked off over immigration. And I'm an immigrant. Yeah, I'm an economic immigrant.
I'm an immigrant.
I moved to Northern Ireland 20 years ago. Slovakia joined the EU in 2004, June 2004. I was on that plane February 2005 to come here because the borders opened. And I wanted a better life for myself. And I came here to learn the language. I had zero language skills. Me and my mum had a one-way ticket and one suitcase each. And we came here and we had no jobs.
Leap of faith.
No jobs, no English skills. But tell you what, we worked hard.
Yeah.
And I am trying to empathise with people who leave their homes because there's war. One of my colleagues is from Ukraine.
Yep.
She did not want to come here. But she was lifted and here she is.
Yep.
But God, she works hard.
Yeah.
And my problem is with the whole piece is that when I first came here 20 years ago, there were no signs translated for me.
No.
There were no booklets translated for me.
No.
There was nothing translated for me. What I had to do? Learn the language.
Well, you embraced your environment, right?
I was reading kids' books every night. I was watching BBC with the subtitles. Just so I learned the language. I've done every bloody job under the sun that was offered. And I did it. And I worked hard. And my mom couldn't get a job for the first 6 months. But there was none of translation service. I had to use my arms and my legs and signs, whatever I could when I went to the GP. There was no translator. I never in the 20 years used a translator. So, being an immigrant and coming to the country now, oh my God, there's so much more available. I'm somewhat envious, you know.
Yeah.
There's none of that, but at the same time...
pleased of it as well at the same time, I'm sure, because you know what you went through.
At the same time, you know, maybe those people should just try a little bit. We should help them. It's like when people say, you know, don't just... What's that saying about giving a community? Don't just give them fish, teach them how to fish.
Yeah. Yeah, if you give a man a fish, you feed him for a day, and if you teach him how to fish, then you feed him for life.
And I think
that.
we should do more of that, because at the moment, I feel like the community is just all getting a fish, but nobody's teaching them how to fish.
I understand. Yeah, very, very important point. Yeah, get that. So,
I am taking a beat.
Take a beat. Just be tolerant of people, all right? We've all got our own passions. We've all got our own groups and our own belongings, but let's just coexist with other people that are ultimately just trying to survive. So that is the moral of that story. Okay, now we're going to move on to the next.
Yeah, what are we going to do? You
show.
have something small, don't you?
I have.
Should I maybe try and plug that camera back in, maybe? What do you think?
Let's give it a go, people. Right. So I'm going to start talking about mine, and you'll try and get the camera up and running, so at least maybe we can end the show on camera so our listeners can see us. Perfect. So my small win of the week was I had a conversation with my eldest son, Sydney, a couple of days ago. And Sydney said something to me that made me feel 10 foot tall. And I'm taking that as my small win of the week. And I just want to share that moment with you guys. We were FaceTiming as we do. He lives in England with his mum. I now live in Northern Ireland. He's 16. He's a young man now. He's taller than me. Unbelievable moment when that happened. But we were just chatting about anything and everything, as we always do. And he went, "Here, Dad, I got something to tell you." I was like, "Okay, go on, son." He said, I've been experiencing paranormal things in the house. I was like, really? Tell me more. He says, well, I've noticed recently that taps have been turning on that I didn't turn on. And I know for a fact I haven't been turning them on. And I'm like, yeah, okay, I've experienced that before. He says, also, when I play music on my phone, which he does a lot because he's 16, right? But he plays music full loud on his phone. Whenever he leaves the room, well, not whenever, but a lot of the time when he leaves the room, he comes back and the music is on pause. Now, before you say it, he's the only one in the house at this time when it's happening. And he's also started to notice a few things moving around. And he's noticed that his phone is ending up in different places from where he put it down. So he started to feel this paranormal stuff. Now, whether you believe in that stuff or not, it can be explained. I get that. But the small win of the week that I wanted to share was that after we'd discussed it and spoke about it and had a bit of fun around it, he says, do you know what? He said, I'm so glad that I've got a dad where I can talk about these kind of things. And I said to him, well, yeah, you do. And with my son, I've very, very deliberately, now I'm not making myself out to be a super parent, I'm far from it, people, but what I've always done with Sid and what I do with my other children, although they're much younger, is just try and be really open and transparent with them and have honest conversations about things. Not cover anything that's inappropriate, obviously, but not scare them, but be as open on any subject as you possibly can. Because what you do when you're like that is you create an open communication channel where your children can talk to you about nearly anything. And let me tell you, as they get older, that becomes really, really important. You would rather your kids come and speak to you about something that's a little bit awkward than say nothing and suffer it in silence. So my small win of the week was Sid saying to me, I'm so glad that I've got a dad where I can talk about anything like this. And I took that as a little win. So maintain those open conversations, people. That is my small win of the week. Thank you.
Well done. Thank you very much.
Hello. Hello. For those of you... For those of you that have stuck around till now, you get a special little look at the two of us.
Oh my Lord.
So,
cameras
that feels
and
nice.
Technology.
Yeah. So, we're new to this, right? This is the first full episode on video, so we're getting used to the tech. I will say...
No, it's not the first full episode on video.
Well, no, it was supposed to be. Now, to be fair... it was plugged in and it was on charge and the charge light was there. So for all intents and purposes, we were going to sustain video through this whole session. But no, it died.
We tried.
But we carried on, right?
We tried. Promise.
We got interrupted at the gym and we stuck around and still went on the rowing machine.
Yeah, maybe nobody wanted to see our faces when we going through those awkward... My God, I probably was pulling all sorts of awkward faces talking about gym. So, yes... We're literally wrapping up here. There's something new. Oh my God. After the last episode that we recorded, no, actually it was last weekend, wasn't it? Last weekend I said, I have something to tell you. I have something to show you. We were on YouTube, we were just flicking through different YouTube channels. And I says, oh my God, I have this show I need to introduce you to. And I wanted to, I share this with other friends of mine, but I wanted to share with you guys so it is called Updating. It is a American dating show. My God, it is hilarious. And the reason why I love it is it's live. Yes, you're watching the recording on YouTube, but when it's recorded, it's live. It's two guys, the presenters, and they travel around America, and they were over in Europe, and they were in Dublin earlier this year. And unfortunately, I couldn't go, but next time they come over, I am so going to that show. It's live. You have a live audience, and what they do, they put out a call to public for single people. And it's blind. It's called Updating, and it's blind dating. So they have the seats set up, One of the guys has the mic, he sits beside the people, and then the other one has a laptop set up, maybe just like a meter away. But he also chimes in, and he also helps out with the moderating. So first they bring in either a man, either a guy or a girl, right? And they're blindfolded. So they can't see the audience, they can't see anyone, they can't see each other. So the guys will ask them, tell us about yourself, and you cannot say age or profession, but you can tell us whatever you want, yeah?
Right.
So, and you have to tell, what do you like, what are you into, and you're blindfolded. Then they bring the other person out and do the same. And then they start to get the two people to talk to each other. And they go, do you want to maybe feel, let's say it's Amy and Chad, yeah? Do you want to feel Chad's shoulder? Do you feel any muscles? Or do you want to touch Amy's hand? And they're blindfolded. And it's interesting that it's awkward, but at the same time, it's also just so human and raw. And it's not edited, and it's just live. And then they ask you questions, and then you can ask questions. And then when they have this little bit of a chit-chat going on, sometimes they get the couple to kiss. Oh, do you want to kiss Chad, or do you want to kiss Amy, or you have your option to kiss or hug? So it's up to them. It's very interesting to see.
Does it get fruity?
So, what?
Does it get fruity?
My God, sometimes it gets fruity. Yeah, it gets spicy. Like, guys would, whip their tops off because they want to show off their six-pack.
Peacocking again.
Oh my God! Honestly, it's
Imagine
really
you're a gym
funny.
dude on that show.
I know.
He won't sit
He
in the
would
chair, will he?
he would be popular probably. Yeah. But and then they still have their blindfolds on, so the moderator goes. So now we have to vote, and it's a thumbs up or a thumbs down. Thumbs up if you fancy them, like the person. Obviously, you don't know whether you fancy them because you haven't seen them. Thumbs up, thumbs down, right? So they do, and now you have to vote, and 4, 3, 2, 1, and they go thumbs up, or whatever. And then they have to remove the blindfold.
Ooh.
And the audience sees this. So then they remove the blindfold and they look at each other and like, ooh.
They get to change their mind.
Yeah, and they're like, and then the moderator goes, yeah, say hi to each other. Do you want to have a last question? And then they go into voting again. So close your eyes, put your arm out and do a thumbs up or a thumbs down. And you know what? People change their mind either way. It's so unpredictable.
Wow.
Because you don't know where it's going to go. You have no idea where it's going to go.
I've got some questions, if that's okay.
Yeah, let's go.
So let's just say, the interaction's gone absolutely pucker, right?
Yeah.
Really, really well.
Yeah.
And they've been blindfolded, and both the man and the woman has gone, yeah, thumbs up.
Yeah.
So they really like what they've experienced.
Yeah.
But the moment they see them, they're like, I don't know I don't know if you look as good as I hoped. Does that change their mind? Do you see people change?
Oh, 100%.
Even though
And it's live.
oh my God, orcs.
That is so awkward, but it's so human.
Yeah.
And then the two moderators, then they navigate the situation. Yeah.
And probably prod at it and extract all the goodness
Oh
from
my
it.
God. But
Yeah.
and then sometimes what can happen, even the couple says yes, both of them say yes, but the audience is also welcome to participate.
Fill the gap.
So the guy with the laptop, they have a live email. So let's say there's a couple on a stage and I'm in the audience as a single female and I like the dude. I can just message them, updating at whatever, and you have to say, Coach, put me in.
Coach, put me in.
And then they go, oh yeah, we just got an email. Adriana said, Coach, put me in. Is there an Adriana in the audience? Do you want to come up on stage and pitch yourself in 60 seconds?
Do you come running down like the Price is Right? The game show.
So the person has to go up on stage and they have 60 seconds to pitch themselves to the guy who's already said yes to another girl.
Right. Oh my God. So they introduced
And then the guy goes,
oh.
Honestly, it's
Mate.
so unpredictable. I recommend it. It comes out, it's on YouTube, updating every Monday night. They have some other paid stuff because they do updating after dark, which you have to pay for, on Patreon, but I've
Is
never
that really
paid.
fruity?
No, it's more like what happens, and because they also do after parties. So they have a
Right.
venue where they do a show, and then they maybe team up with a bar or something, and then
Got
they
ya.
have this called Updating After Dark, whatever, and then
Right.
that's
So you
where
see
they kind of
where it goes after the show, which would be quite interesting,
and
wouldn't
then
it?
that's But I never really watched that type of content, so I don't know what kind of happens. Obviously it's not like it's still within PG-12 or whatever. It's not that
PG-12.
or whatever that group is, PG-15.
It's still acceptable, people.
So that is my something new for you guys for the week to
Love
watch
that.
updating, and hopefully they come back to Europe again, because I think they have been in London, they have been Dublin, and then all over. I think they were like Sweden and the Netherlands.
Amazing.
And I've watched it, and it was so funny, even just watching them doing it like the Netherlands, because it's like a completely culturally different, and what people share and all of that. Super interesting to learn about people and their human side, the awkward side, and what they share while they're blindfolded. Mind blowing.
Amazing. And if you go to enjoy the spectacle as an audience member,
Yeah.
but you also potentially might get the chance to take part as an audience member.
Yeah.
Hassan, listen, I think it's a matter of time until it comes to Belfast, right? It's gotta
Hopefully.
be. Yeah, it would have to be.
Maybe we'll just do our own updating.
Yeah, I think
And we could we could just call it TMI Thursdays After Dark.
potentially. I could be that compare that does all
Yeah.
the probing.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a bit inappropriate. I'll leave it there. PG-12. All right.
PG-12.
No problem. Well, listen, thank you very much, everybody. So glad that we can close the show out
I know.
actually on camera,
You can
which is
see us.
pretty cool.
Listen,
Well done.
honestly, you couldn't write this.
No, you couldn't write it.
You
just
could
gotta
not
deal
write
with it.
this. You could not write this.
So it's all good. So
we promise that next week it'll be sound and video.
yeah,
Be on the money.
absolutely. Yes, we will. We'll endeavour to make it absolutely perfect, and we'll aim to put on a really good show. And on that note, just to remind you guys, for those of you that are watching on YouTube, please click like and subscribe,
Yes.
and click the little bell notice so that you can get
Yeah.
notifications as well. And for those of you that are listening to us on Spotify, you can find us on YouTube on our TMI Thursdays channel, and you can find us on Spotify at TMI Thursdays podcast, and you can find us on Instagram as well at TMI Thursdays. So we're there on most socials.
Yeah.
We'll be adding more as we go, and we'll be looking forward to another episode next week at 8 p.m. on Thursday, where we'll come to you with some more topics. But listen, genuinely, you mentioned it earlier, and I'm so pleased that you did. We want to take on any insights that you guys have got. So if there's anything in particular that you want us to talk about, just leave some comments, interact
We got
with
a
us.
couple of comments, didn't we?
We
I
did.
definitely saw some. Yeah.
Which I cannot tell you how awesome that is.
It's so nice. It's so nice that
people
interact with us and
Yeah.
tell us, their kind of stories and situations and what matters to them.
Yeah.
Because what matters to you matters to us.
Exactly. So leave your comments, contribute to what we're going to
Buy us
cover.
a coffee if you were half a coffee for tonight. An
Whoa.
espresso shot for tonight.
So we do have a support account on
Yeah.
Ko-Fi. I was been calling it Ko-Fi. It's clearly coffee.
It's coffee.
Spelt Ko-Fi.
But listen,
.com.
who am I to
criticize
or judge you? If you want to call it Ko-Fi, call it
Yeah.
Ko-Fi, but it's coffee.
So that's Ko-Fi, spelled KO-FI.com/TMI Thursdays. If you fancy donating a coffee, no
yes.
pressure, obviously, but any support is.
So we
is
can buy
welcome.
another battery for the camera. So
we
it
need
doesn't
more
die
support for
on
the IT. Yeah, we do. So, anyways,
Legend.
that is a wrap. So we're going to bring that to a close now. Thank you very much, everybody. We look forward to seeing you next week. Adios. See you later.
Have fun. Bye.